Welcome back to the Cinema Tape Podcast. I am Tyler Miller, and I'm joined by my partner, Charlie Snarf. And this is the 2024 Wrapped podcast episode. So it was a close race between me and Charlie, but I ended up having the most movies on the year at 58. He had 57, but it was not worth it. Uh, oh,
Bad movies.
some god awful movies. Oh my goodness. But we'll get to those later. We'll talk about our top 15 on the year, bottom 10 of the year, and then we'll do our Oscars. And if we have anything else we want to talk about, we'll start off with that. But 2024, it was a solid year for movies. Not as good as last year, in my opinion. I thought last year was phenomenal, especially having um, Guardians of the Galaxy, Scream 6, all those other movies. But it wasn't a bad year. I'm hoping 2025 will be even better. But all right, let's start off with you. Let's go 15.
Down to one.
You want to go 15 to 1, or you want to go back and forth like 15, 10, and then I go 2, 15, 10, then you do
That's what I meant.
9.
We'll go 2-1. So.
Oh yeah, like 15 to 11, and then
Yeah.
10 to 5, and then I don't know, 10 to 6, and then 5 to 1.
Alright. Well, welcome, folks. Happy New Year, of course. I'm gonna go ahead and give my 15 to Beetlejuice 2. I thought it was still pretty good. Not as good as the original, but it's still fairly fun and good. Honorable mention, Heretic is at 16. They were pretty close. It was hard to decide. But anyway, 14, I have Salem's Lot, which was really funny. If you've seen it, you know the little black kid. He carried that movie. He's such a good character. So funny. Definitely worth a watch. It's on Max, I believe. So very good to watch. Number 13, I have Monster Summer, which has Mel Gibson, who I thought was blacklisted, but I guess he's not anymore. And it has the fat kid from The Sandlot, Patrick Renna. He is an umpire, which is funny because he was in The Sandlot. But definitely very, very interesting movie. Some of the twists in it are kind of crazy. Definitely worth watching if you want a movie with good twist and good action and such. So I thought it was pretty good. Then at 12, I have one of my dear franchises in my heart, Beverly Hills Cop XOF, his new movie. It was it was good. It wasn't as good as the first three, of course, the original, but it was still good to see him and Rosewood and Taggart all back together again. So that was definitely cool to see, and it was a good movie overall. I've only watched it once when it first came out, so I need to rewatch it. Then 11, I have Fall Guy, based on the 1980s TV show. Very good. I thought it was great. Probably one of my favorite things that has Ryan Gosling I've seen because he's alright in my opinion. He has some good stuff and then he has some bad stuff. Uh-huh. Yeah, like La La Land, whatever. But I thought he was good in this, and I thought it was a pretty funny and fun film. So that's my what is that? 15 to 11. So
I'll start off with some honorable mentions here. If I remember watching this in the theater, I got emotional in a couple scenes, to be honest. And then Monster Summer as well. That was underrated. Not a lot of people saw that, but it was pretty underrated. I thought Mel Gibson had a very good performance in that. And then Beetlejuice is also another one. Uh, it would have been in my top 15 if there wasn't so many storylines, but other than that, it was still a good movie. Like, don't get me wrong, not better than the original, but still a good movie. But number 15 for me, Transformers 1. Transformers 1, they did a horrible job marketing that movie. Oh my goodness. The trailers look so bad, and I refuse to see it because I'm a Michael Bay Transformers guy. I've talked about Megan Fox on the podcast
couple of dozen
a
times.
couple dozen times, but yeah, but those Transformers movies they're special to me. And then like Rise of the Beast when it came out last year, I wasn't a big fan of it. It didn't have the Michael Bay sauce that he brought to those movies. But when Transformers 1 came out, I watched it when it came on to Paramount Plus, and it was solid. I thought that the performances that Brian Tyree Henry gave as Megatron and Chris Hemsworth, honestly, he did a really good job as Orion Pax, aka Optimus Prime. But I thought they were all going to do terrible. The movie was going to be bad, but honestly, it was severely underrated. And I think if they do make a Transformers 2, that would be I would not be mad. Um, but the cast was stacked, and I think that's what really kind of carried this movie a bit. Just Keegan Michael Key as Bumblebee was awesome. And then number 14 for me was Bad Boys Ride or Die, which I believe is the second best in the franchise. Um, I think this is probably one second best and second funniest in the franchise, in my personal opinion. Uh, I thought the best villain in the franchise. But also the other kind of twist villain in here. Uh, I don't. This might be a spoiler. Just skip a few seconds if you haven't seen Bad Boys Ride or Die. But the guy from Fantastic Four was the like kind of twist villain, and I thought that was awesome. I mean, I kind of expected it because why would you cast him if he wasn't going to be some importance to the movie? And then he gets eaten by a white alligator, which I thought was really funny. But overall, it's a pretty good movie. If they do make a did they confirm a Bad Boys 5?
Mm, I think they did, but I'm not. Let me look.
If they did confirm a Bad Boys 5, I'm seated.
No, it has not been confirmed yet.
Well, I feel like they will because Bad Boys Ride or Die made a lot of money.
Technically, the third one was supposed to be the final one, and then they were like, "Let's do Bad Boys Ride or Die."
Yeah. Okay. Then 13 for me, Trap. Very underrated. I did not like M Night Shyamalan after watching Knock at the Cabin because I hated that movie. Oh my goodness, it was bad. But Trap was really good. I thought Josh Hartnett was great. The whole premise was great, and then it kind of just switches from becoming about Josh Hartnett's character to the pop star, and it was really cool. Um, and then number 12, My Old Self. Can't because I can't say this on the podcast. But I really liked it. It has Aubrey Plaza playing an older version of this girl named Elliot, and she's like doing a bunch of weed with her friends, and then and the older Elliot says like, "Hey, you should stop doing all this stuff, and turn your life around, and like get to like spend time with your family before like you go off to college because you only have like a week left." And it was like, I thought it was really good. It had some very emotional scenes, but I mean, I thought it was good. They did not do a good job marketing that movie either. Like, because I didn't see any trailers for that, and severely underrated. And then 11, which just fell out of the top 10 for me because I watched the movie December 31st. Ricky Stenicki fell out of the top 10. It fell out, but don't get me wrong, Ricky Stenicki is still such a good movie. I remember the first time I watched that movie, I was laughing so hard, and then I rewatched it again, still laughing. Like it does such a good job with the chemistry between Zac Efron, the guy from that one podcast, Andrew Santino, and Jer- Jermaine Fowler. Uh, but other than that, that the entire movie's good. John Cena has he makes that movie so funny. He carries almost the entire time. But other than that, Ricky Sneaky, great movie. That's my 15 to 11, and you got your 10 to 6
I
ready.
do. Okay, so my number 10, I'm gonna guarantee most people haven't heard of because I didn't either, and so I was looking for some kind of like weird horror movies per se, horror thriller. I don't know exactly know what you would call it. I would probably call it definitely thriller. It's not really scary or anything. It's called Stream, and it came out this year. It is definitely a low budget film. It advertises everywhere that Tim Curry is in it. That he's credited for it on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, I believe even on 1, 2, 3 movies, he's not in the film. So I assume, and the character he's supposed to play, he did not play because that's some random guy. So I'm thinking he must have gotten really sick right before he played it, and so they switched it up and they just never removed him, because he is definitely not in it. But it is a fun movie. It's definitely cool to see. You see a lot of it through hotel cameras and stuff, which is kind of interesting. So it's I wouldn't say found footage, but it's definitely a different perspective, and it's pretty cool. Definitely. Oh man, why am I blanking on his name? Um, Damian Leon definitely has Damian Leon gore to it, which is nice to see because he
Terrifier.
oh yeah, Terrifying movies. He's definitely the gore guy, so it's cool to see that. And following him, going to number 9, I have Terrifier 3, which could be higher because it is really good. I think it really adds to the story, and it's what made me start to actually like the Terrifier franchise. After I watched it, I went back and watched the other ones, and I liked them more after watching Terrifier 3. Definitely cool. The gore, some of the scenes were pretty bad. No wonder some people left theater, but
I've heard one scene.
it's not for the weak, that's for sure.
It was the shower scene. I've heard that.
Shower scene. Ooh, yeah. Not a fan. Well, I mean, that actually wasn't as bad
The
as
shark
the
scene.
glass shard is the scene that bothered me. That's the only scene that actually bothered me quite a bit. Oof. But yeah, that's my number 9. I definitely am excited to see more. And speaking of, um, which I'll get more into him later, but David Howard, who plays Art the Clown.
David Howard Thornton.
Yep. He is playing Steamboat Willie in Screamboat, the new Steamboat Willie movie coming out at the end of January. So I'm excited. I'm gonna see that. I'm excited. I can't wait for it. I want to see this twisted Mickey Mouse, but for Steamboat Willie, but still.
There's another one. The mouse trap.
Mousetrap, yeah, I'm gonna watch both of them. The Winnie the Pooh verse. Um, 8 could switch out with Terrifier 3. I think I may put it at 9, but it's at 8 right now. The Beekeeper, which I originally wasn't planning on watching, but as we were saying, we were trying to find movies to watch, and I checked it out. It actually was really good for an action movie. It is kind of like other action movies, except the kills are a little different, and he's just kind of a Jason Statham in this is pretty brutal, which is nice. And then Josh Hutcherson is also like a frat boy, but he's also an antagonist, which is it's just it actually kind of fits him. But it's a good movie overall. Definitely worth watching. Number 7, I have Red One, which also could switch out with Terrifier 3. Terrifier 3 was definitely could be rearranged. I only saw it once in theater a while ago, so I definitely need to give it a rewatch. But I watched Red One a couple times, so it's at 7. Definitely a fun movie. I don't know why it gets so much hate. People are saying it's horrible. I thought it was good. I liked the snowman scenes where they're fighting the snowman and all that, so I thought it was pretty good. And at number 6, I have M. Night Shyamalan, Trap, because I liked it a lot. I liked seeing it through the perspective of the killer, which is definitely really cool. And I thought Josh Hartnett did a very, very good job at doing it too. So, like, you don't want someone that wouldn't do it well. So, the fact that they got him to do it and he did it really well is added to the story. Definitely excited to see if there's another one because, I mean, the way
They don't think. I don't think they'll.
you don't think so? The way it ended, they could set it up for another one, but I don't know
I
how
don't
they
think
would do it.
I don't. M Night makes. I mean, the only sequels he
Yeah.
made was Split and Glass, and that was
Splitting
right
glass.
after Unbreakable.
I've never even heard of those two. I can't lie.
Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson,
Oh, maybe I've heard of Split then, but
James McAvoy, Anya
hmm.
Taylor Joy in those
I
movies.
need to check that one out because I like Bruce Willis and Samuel. Definitely two of my favorites. But that's my top 6. Or well, no, sorry. That's my 10 to 6. Tell me if you agree or not. Which who knows? It's our top 5, maybe more agreeable than those ones. But yeah.
All right, starting at number 10 for me is Twisters. I remember seeing this when it came out, and it was so much fun. The theater was packed, and everybody was having a good time. Uh, it's such a fun movie, and you just like you go into that, like you expect like you're expecting oh just like a dumb tornado movie. The first like 5 minutes are like terrifying for the main character, Kate, because like if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Because like spoilers here if you haven't seen it, she loses all of her friends within the first 5 minutes, besides Anthony Ramos's character, and then there's like the my only problem there was like a little weird love triangle that they never really explained with Anthony Ramos and Glenn Powell. And I'm glad they did not kiss at the end because that would have been such a weird cliche.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do that. But I thought it was still I still thought it was very good. If they do make a Twisters sequel, then I'll still watch it. But I thought that was good on its own. Glenn Powell, great in everything he's done so far. I mean, he's gonna be in another um like another remake of a old film from the 90s and 80s. He's making The Running Man that comes out this year. But yeah, that's my number 10. Number 9 for me is Abigail, which I thought was really good. I had no expectations going into it. All I knew was the cast. It was Melissa Barrera, Dan Stevens, Catherine Newton, Kevin Durant, Giancarlo Esposito, and a whole bunch of other people. And I was shocked. Oh, also Angus Cloud, may he rest in peace. But he was that entire movie was so cool. It's basically about this little girl gets kidnapped because they're trying to get ransom money from her father, and then they realize that this girl is a vampire, and it's so cool. I thought the kills were awesome, and everything about it was really cool. But yeah, Melissa Barrera, she needs an apology from the Scream producers and like everybody from Scream because oh my goodness, she is going to become such a great actress. I mean, she already is a great actress, but she's going to become such a big actress that they're going to need to give her all the money for her to come back for another Scream movie. And then number 8, I saw this December 31st, Sonic 3. This was so much fun. Jim Carrey is the only person who could ever play Robotnik. Shadow, played by Keanu Reeves, also very good introduction to the franchise. I still believe that it should have been Hayden Christensen, but other than that, um, he was still good. And that Ben Schwartz had some like as Sonic, he had some very cringy uh like jokes that he made in the beginning, but I could ignore that because they had the best character in the franchise. Um, Adam Pally, who plays Wade Whippy, I believe that's his name. Yeah, but he's the other cop in all the 3 Sonic movies. He's the best character. He's the teacher in middle school, The Worst Years of My Life. He's such a good actor. He's so funny. And then they brought back technically everybody for this one, and I'm very excited for 4 after they teased someone in the post credit scene. Actually, they teased a couple people in the post credit scene, but yeah, very exciting. Number 7 for me was Alien Romulus. I watched this on my phone. When I watched this on in my theater room, it's probably gonna go up because oh my goodness, this was
What do you have it at?
number 7. Alien Romulus, so good. Um, the entire cast was great. I thought Kaylee Spaney as the main character, and then there was Andy. Andy was probably my favorite. Andy was such a good character, and then Isabella Merced. I feel like I've just grown up with her in her movies. Like I've been watching her ever since I was like 10 or something like that. Because I know it. I've been watching her ever since I was 8 years old. Oh my goodness. And yeah, she's such a good actress. The entire cast was great. All the kills were awesome, and it had such a good story to it. And I really hope that Alien Romulus 2 or whatever they're gonna call it. I really hope they bring back. Well, they did confirm Andy's coming back. But I really hope that like they can continue that relationship that they have, like as like brother and sister, and they're just trying to protect each other from these aliens. I can't wait for that sequel. And then my number 6 is Venom Let the Last Dance. And I don't care what anybody says. The Venom movies are so good. The Venom movies have always had a special place in my
The
heart.
first 2 Venom movies are good.
The second one is not. I mean, okay, the
Second one's
second
the
one's
best one by far.
no. Okay, the second Venom movie is it's okay, but there's too many. They focus too much on the comedy for one, and well, I mean, like even though I don't really care, that those movies are funny, but I hated that they were separated. You can't separate the best part of the original movie.
And then they get back together at the end, and then they
Eh,
defeated Woody
Carnage.
Harrelson.
Yeah, but Venom Last Dance, second best in the franchise. Um, I still think I still think that it's a good idea that that Sony decided to scrap this whole universe. But if the MCU can bring back Tom Hardy Venom, I would be so happy. I feel like they will, since multiverse stuff and it'll be the Secret Wars. They're probably gonna bring back everybody. They already confirmed a bunch of other
Howard the
people.
Duck, please.
Howard the Duck's already in the
Wesley
franchise.
Snipes Blade,
He's
please.
unless he stays alive. I mean, he's pretty old. He's like what 60 now.
I mean, Samuel Jackson's also
Oh
old,
yeah,
and he'd come back.
yeah. But yeah, that's my 10-6. Here you go.
Uh, uh, Venom: The Last Dance. I was not a fan.
Because you didn't like that how he survived.
Because he wouldn't have. He would not have survived that. Be so for it. You know he wouldn't survive that too. He was 10 feet away.
I do not care.
He was 10. Okay, whatever.
I got emotional when he said, "Don't forget me either, Eddie."
Oh my goodness.
That hurt right there.
Ugh, it was. Anyway, number 5, I have Alien Romulus. Very good movie. Saw it in theater very late at night. But it was definitely really fun alien movie to watch. It's what got me into watching the rest of the franchise. Big fan of the first one too. Second one I heard is even better. It's usually everyone's favorite. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I will. Then number four, I have Bad Boys Ride or Die. I've always loved the Bad Boys franchise. I also think it is the second best one. Bad Boys 2 still being the first and will forever be the first best one. It's just so good. Now the very first Bad Boys is also really good. It's just not comedy, very much comedy. It's more just straight action.
Yeah, that's one of my main problems. I
Yeah.
expected a lot of comedy from that.
And the second one delivers, just not the first one as much. But
What you did to
meh,
was not
not okay,
okay.
Mike. Number three, I have Ricky Stenicki. He was in the second place for a long time because he was actually at first until Deadpool and Wolverine.
Spoil your number one.
Oh well, whatever. Deadpool and Wolverine's only number one for one reason and one reason only, and we'll get to that. Ricky Stenicki is at number three because it is very funny. Now John Cena, he's either good in the movies he's in or he's terrible. This one he was good in. There's others where he's not great.
What is he not good in?
There's just I gotta find. I can't tell you exactly, but there's two of them, I think, or two or three of them I'm trying to think of, and he's just not great because he's just not necessarily made for a serious role, and he was more of a serious role, and it just didn't fit well
Oh,
because he's goofy.
Are you thinking Suicide Squad?
As Peacemaker,
I really
maybe,
like
but
Peacemaker.
I also just wasn't a big fan of the second Suicide Squad compared to the first one.
I love both those.
Oh, I don't like the second one that much. Um, at number two, I have number three, Ricky Stinky, whatever. Andrew Santino, one of my favorite actors. Um, upcoming actors, I guess. I really like his podcast with Bobby Lee, 'cause Bobby Lee really is one of my favorite actors ever. Bobby Lee. But so yeah, that's I don't know. I thought the cast was pretty stacked, and I thought it was funny. Then number two, I have Carry On, the new movie with
Taron Egerton,
yeah, and Jason Bateman.
Sophia Carson.
Yep. I thought it was really good. I thought the Andy Norris, I thought it was different ish. I don't how do I explain it? It was a good action movie. I like how it wasn't like a copy of Die Hard 2 or anything. Now, I will say Die Hard 2 takes place on Christmas Eve and is a Christmas movie. However, Carry On is not a Christmas movie. Not there's nothing even the airport doesn't have any like Christmas aspects to it or anything. No, there's barely any Christmas music in the movie. There's some, but not very much. And just doesn't feel like Christmas. Unlike Die Hard 2 when he's out in the snow. I mean, there's Christmas music 24/7. There's trees. I mean, it just feels so much more like Christmas. But Carry On is still a great movie. Definitely unique. My mom says it reminds her of Red One, or not Red Eye, which I need to watch because
Rachel McAdams and Cillian Murphy.
yeah, I knew Cillian Murphy was in it. But she said it reminds her of that, and she said that's also really good. So I'm excited to watch that. Now, number one, which I've only watched once, even though I've owned it for like 3 or 4 months before it was even out on Disney Plus. I just haven't rewatched it. Deadpool and Wolverine. It was very good because of the man, the myth, the legend. Wesley Snipes' Blade, the most underrated franchise ever. I don't care what anyone says. Blade 1, 2, and 3 are all great. I don't remember what the second Blade 2 may just be called Blade 2, but then Blade 3 is Trinity. Which everyone does not like that. And I'm like, it's great. It has Ryan Reynolds. His character is great. But the second one is probably the best one. Yep, it has Norman Reedus and his character is great. And then you have Blade, and you still have what's his face? Wow, I cannot believe I'm blinking on his name. Uh, maybe it is the no Chris Christopherson, the Whistler, his buddy.
Didn't he die in the first one?
Have you watched him?
Yeah, I watched the first one.
Oh, does he die in the first one?
I think. Oh, maybe. I don't remember. I just remember the ending being dragged out so long.
You need to rewatch all of them. That's all I'm gonna say, because you need to do that sooner than later, because we need to discuss about them, because I remember. But yeah, Deadpool Wolverine is definitely my number one. I think it's probably my favorite Deadpool movie too. It's just very hard to decide, but I think it may be. I will say, Hugh Jackman Wolverine a little overrated. I mean, he's good, he's great, but
not overrated.
but Deadpool is definitely superior out of the two. Deadpool is the better character out of the two, and Wesley Snipes is definitely better than Wolverine. Not sure about Deadpool.
I don't agree.
Dude, Blade is such a good
I
character.
grew up with those 2000 X-Men movies.
Yeah, and Blade was like 90s, and they were great. Well, 90s, 2000s, but I don't know. I think Blade is such an underrated movie. And one of my favorite jokes in the movie is when he goes, "There's only gonna be one Blade," and then Deadpool just looks at the camera. I don't know. It was just so funny to me because he's not being the next Blade, but yeah, probably not.
Marsha Ali.
Oh well, yeah, that movie's never getting made. It's gone through what 27 different directors and 17 writers, and Yeah, that one's never getting made. So I'll miss Blade. Definitely have to just keep rewatching the old three, which are great, of course. But yeah, that is my top five.
Now my top five, very different. Um, but my number five starts with the Carry On, which I thought was amazing. I think that Netflix at least makes two good movies a year. I swear, one or two movies a year Netflix makes, and they're just so good that I have to watch it at least like once a year because Carry On was so good. Jason Bateman was one of the greatest villains of the year. He was so good. Uh, Karen Edgerton was also great. Sophia Carson, which I never expected her to do a serious role because she's in all those Descendants movies. Which no hate towards those movies, just not my type of movie. Okay. Um, but Sophia Carson was great. So was Dean Morris. Dean Norris. Oh my goodness. He was good. But the whole movie was great. I really like that side plot with the cop and her trying to figure out what's going on with remember in the beginning scene where like the greenhouse explodes and she's trying to figure out who did these murders, and then it all connects with the airport, and
Mm.
yeah, I really like that. And then my number four, Red One, which, okay, if you hated this movie, it's your opinion, but seriously, this movie is just supposed to be a fun Christmas movie. That's all. That's mainly what Christmas movies are supposed to be. They're just supposed to be fun, and y'all took this so seriously because The Rock and Chris Evans are in it. Though it was such a fun time in theater. I had such a blast. I thought J.K. Simmons playing Santa again. He was Santa in Klaus, but it was such a good movie, and I think that more movies need to be like that. And it's also an original movie. Like you never see those kind of. It's always sequels and remakes. And Red One's an original movie. I'm very glad that we finally got something more original. And there was so many just like little funny moments in there, and I remember my theater was laughing a lot. And it was such a good movie. But my number three is Smile 2. Smile 2, alright, Smile I remember Smile 1. Smile 1's a little boring, don't get me wrong. There's some weird moments, especially at the end with the main character's mom turned into like this giant monster, and it was really weird. The Smile 2, I loved. I thought Naomi Scott did such a great job at playing this pop star who is struggling with the death of her boyfriend, and she's struggling with just a bunch of stuff in her life because like, she finally got like she's finally like done with drugs, and like now the Smile identity came after her, and it's so cool. And if you've seen the ending, I wonder what they're gonna do for Smile 3, because if I don't want to spoil, but do you think that there's gonna be a whole
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I
They'll expand it.
I wonder what they're gonna do, because Smile 2 kind of just made a whole bunch of possibilities now for Smile 3, because they did confirm Smile 3 is gonna happen. So yeah, Smile 2 at number 3, and then number 2 in my second spot, which was number 1 for a while, is Dune Part 2. Dune. I hated the original Dune for a second. For a moment in time, I thought Dune was absolutely boring, and I thought it was just so bad and it was so overrated. But then when I rewatched it, Dune 1, and I had such a good time watching it, and it was so cool watching the Fremen, and like seeing the rise and fall of Atreides, House of Atreides, and the Harkonnens. It was so cool. Um, Timothy Chalamet, one of the best actors right now. Paul Atreides, and there was also Stilgar with the Lisan Al Gaib. Yeah, and then Austin Butler as Fade Rotha was awesome. I think that Austin Butler finally, like, when he finally got out of the Elvis voice, he got stuck with the Fade Rotha voice. Oh my goodness, I think that that movie's gonna win all the awards. And then number one is Deadpool and Wolverine. it it's so awesome. I've said awesome a lot. Jeez. Let me think of another word to say describe Deadpool and Wolverine. It's hilarious for one. You the entire movie full of cameos. Which I mean, like if you haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine, or like you've probably seen spoilers online, but seeing Gambit finally on screen with Channing Tatum was.
I'm about to make a name for myself.
Oh, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
There's some people in the way.
Uh, Seeing Jennifer Garner as Elektra was also, just a little sweet nod towards the Fox X-Men or Fox universe. Uh, I thought that was really nice. Jennifer Garner, those her Elektra movie is severely underrated in my opinion. I think that a lot of people give it hate. I don't find it that bad at all. And then who else came out? Oh yeah, Johnny Storm. Oh, y'all know how much I love the 2005 and 2007 Fantastic Four movies. Uh, and Megan Fox. But those 2005 and 2007 Fantastic Four movies are so good, hold a special place in my heart. I know they're cheesy, and the CGI is a little bad, but I don't care. Those movies are so good, and I feel like everyone should give those movies another chance because they're just so good. And Deadpool and Wolverine, such great performances, and I'm very excited to see what. Do you think that they will make Secret Wars like
Like in an appearance.
I mean, like, do you think that they will make a Secret Wars version where make it rated R, but just for like I feel like Deadpool will say the F word a lot, but they're gonna bleep it because they're probably gonna make it PG
Oh
13.
yeah.
They'll make a rated R version just for Deadpool.
It's unrated, so it's.
Yeah, I
I
think
would love that.
I would love that as well. And then like at the
And
end
then
credit scene, like they finally unmuted me.
and then him and Howard the Duck
Oh, that
just start
would
killing so many people together.
they gotta do that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but all right, that's our top 15 of the year. Let's go into our bottom 10 now.
Oh, are we doing bottom 10?
Let's do bottom 10. Yeah, we said that earlier. Um, I'll start it off as you started off last time.
Okay.
We'll go from you know bottom 10 to 6, and then
Yeah.
all right. Bottom the 10th worst movie of the year for me is Spaceman because I'm a huge Adam Sandler guy, and I was expecting it's another serious Adam Sandler movie, and I liked Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems was great, had me stressed out the entire time, but I was so bored watching Spaceman. I could barely stay awake. Paul Dano's character was awful with the little spider thing. That was weird. I didn't like it. I think that it could have been so much better if, you know, I know that Adam Sandler was trying to take on more serious roles, but I just prefer comedy Adam Sandler than serious role Adam Sandler. And then my number 9 worst movie of the year is Cuckoo. I thought this was gonna be good. I was bored throughout. I was confused. What I didn't even know what they were doing to like those kids. I was confused the entire time. It was it was so boring. Hunter Schafer did it, tried her best, but it was awful. And then I had to watch just to beat Charlie in the movie race. I had to watch Hot Frosty, the movie where a snowman turns to a human, and it's basically it's they say it's not a Hallmark movie, but it's a Hallmark movie. It's on Netflix. It was so bad. Oh my goodness. Craig Robinson was in it, and so was the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. They tried to save it, but they tried their best to save that movie, and it just does not work out. It was so awful. Uh, I don't have anything to say about that. It bad movie. And then my number 7 worst on the year is Immaculate. I do not like. What I've learned now is that I do not like nun horror movies unless that movie's just bad. Because
The Nun movies aren't great either.
nun movies are not good.
No.
Okay.
Some people love them, but I don't think they're great. They're not scary at all. Thanks.
Well, I mean, you're not really scared during the Conjuring movie. There's just a lot of very good jump scares. But Sydney Sweeney, she tried her best, but I was bored throughout again. I think that there's just no life to these movies. There's all just sounds like this the entire time. It's just like you be a little louder, por favor? And then my number 6 worst in the year is Night Swim. Uh, I watched this with my sister, and it was painfully bad to watch.
You have Night Swim in your top 10 worst?
Yeah, it's awful.
I've been at 40, so I don't think I thought there was
Right, for me, it's 53 in
I
my
thought there was
rankings.
25 movies that were worse.
The worst part of that movie was it was the very end when the like pool demon uh goes out of fake Captain America's body, and then like they're like his son is like, I don't even know what happened, but this like his son was like in a very bad state, and this is what he says: "Is he all right? Is he all right?" It was so stupid. Uh, yeah, but bad movie again. I can't explain how bad Night Swim was. I'm glad I did not see that in theaters with y'all. That would have been a waste of $11.
12.50 actually.
12.50. Oh my goodness.
Ticketing's
Uh, all right. What's your bottom 10? What was bottom
Yeah.
6?
So at my number 10, I have The Crow. Now don't get me wrong, I love the original Crow with Brandon Lee, but this movie completely goes against its rules and it's not great. It has Bill Skarsgård, which he's good as a horror character, but he wasn't in this. He was just he was like a Tubi version or a Wish version of The Crow, and it just didn't feel like The Crow because in the actual original The Crow, he goes against gangsters and mobs and all sorts of stuff. In this one, he didn't really, and he spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. Close your ears if you really care that much, but it wasn't great, so I wouldn't see it. He becomes the Crow more than once. Yeah, that doesn't work like that. You don't just become it, quit, become it again, and then quit and then do it again. I mean, you just can't keep redoing it. In the very first one, he just becomes the Crow when he's the Crow. So I don't know. It just kind of goes against everything. Wasn't great. It was pretty bad, honestly, which was disappointing. Um, at number whatever 9, I got Kill 'Em All 2. This was when we were really heated in beating the race when we decided to watch any movie we can find that was short. And I've never seen the first one, but I'll tell you right now, I'm not planning on watching it after watching the second one because it was terrible. It was supposed to be an action movie, but it was so boring. There's just too much like going on, but also nothing going on at the same time. It's really weird. I honestly there's too much story, but just nothing going on with the story. It's pretty bad. At number 8, I have Subservience with Megan Fox. um, bad movie. Uh, it's we need to stop making AI movies. Yes,
Stop.
yes, I know.
Stop. Blumhouse, please stop. I'm tired of the freaking AI or robots taking over the house.
Yeah,
So stupid.
it's terrible. They need to stop making them. Um, like we had the Terminators, and those were good movies about robots taking over. Red Eye Robot, another good movie about robots taking over. Stop making more. AI, yeah, it may take over. So let's not make movies about it when it's gonna happen anyway. It's who cares? And bad movies at all.
You have no idea how angry I am at Blumhouse
Uh,
for making awful movies.
They also did Megan though,
They
so
did Megan. They did
oh,
Imaginary. Some sort of
Imag-
demon or something taking over a home.
Imaginary was better than Subservience though.
But like, oh my
Still
gosh,
worse than Night Swim though.
make something that's not
Uh,
the same movie. We're making the same movie like 5 different times.
this one may upset people, but this movie I thought was so bad when it had so much potential. So much potential. Godzilla X Kong New Empire.
Oh, that's not. That's
It was so bad. It's compared to all any other Godzilla and Kong movie, even the ones with them together, this just did not deliver at all. It was stupid. It was boring, but I mean, you even had some good cast and like Brian Tyree Henry, which was in Bullet Train as Tangerine
Yep, he's also in Transformers
in
1.
Transformers 1. See, they just
And he's the dad in no.
and they had Godzilla and Kong, and you know what they made? A bad film. So
No.
I'm upset about that. Yeah, yeah, it was bad. And then at number 6, I have My Old Ass. It was bad. I don't know how you liked it. It was cheesy. It was so boring. There's so many better movies. If you want to watch people get high and talk, there's so many better movies. You got Harold and Kumar. They get high and they go on a mission to White Castle. What mission did they go on this one? None. They go to White Castle.
Well,
They meet Neil Patrick Harris.
well, the whole point of that movie is My Old Self is not to like.
I
It's
know,
not
I
an
know.
adventure. It's about her trying to spend time with her family before she goes off to college.
And then she's upset about them selling the cranberry farm or what? Who owns it? Why a cranberry farm? That's my question. Who thought of a cranberry farm? Don't get me wrong. I love cranberry juice, and I cranberry farms get a lot of money. So how can they not afford it? Because I don't know. I just always thought they got paid quite a bit, but I guess not. But I don't know. I didn't think it was great. There's definitely five worst films than that though, so we'll get into those. But here you go.
Surprised you don't have Dear Santa that low.
It was at number 11.
Number
It
11.
was
All
at
right.
11, so it was almost there.
All right. So my bottom five of the year start. Yes, I watched this movie. Harold and the Purple Crayon
I thought you
is.
said it was the best movie of all time.
People lied to me. People lied. That movie was so painfully awful that I had to pause. The only reason it gets a 1 star out of 5 is because Lil Ray Howery makes everything good. I swear. He's so funny. Exactly. Good in Tag. He's good in Get Out. He's funny in Get Out, and Get Out's not even a funny movie. He's funny in that. He's good in Free Guy. He's good in everything he's done. Um, but Harold and the Purple Crayon was bad, and I like Zachary Levi. I think Shazam is the best DCEU movie, but he's awful in this. Zoe Deschanel, awful. Alfred Molina was the narrator. I didn't even know that. That entire movie was bad. Then number 4, this is where we get to half-star movies. I had way more half-star movies than I did last year. Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. I I try to watch, all the SpongeBob movies, even though I'm not a huge SpongeBob guy. I just watch them, because it's SpongeBob. You don't really have to watch the show to watch these movies. The basic SpongeBob with the friends, Krusty Krab, Krabby Patties, Plankton, all that stuff. This was so painfully bad to watch. Again, painfully bad.
Did you say that you thought that was the best DCEU movie?
Shazam, yes.
The Batman doesn't beat
The
that.
Batman is not DCEU. DCEU is Justice League with Ben Affleck and
Okay,
um
what about Green Lantern?
Green Lantern's not DCEU.
Oh, I thought it was.
It's not. DCEU started off with Henry Cavill, Man of Steel, and I do not like Man of Steel.
And I don't like Henry Cavill as Superman that much.
I agree with that. He's not Henry Cavill was not a very good Superman. The best Superman will always be Christopher Reeves, but I feel like David Corn Sweat could possibly get up to second. I don't think it'll pass him, but he'll get close. He'll get close if that franchise ever becomes good. But back to Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. It was so cringy. Again, Craig Robinson, what are you doing, man? Does Netflix have a gun pointed at your head saying do all these bad movies?
Who?
Craig Robinson, remember the this guy?
Yeah, I know who Craig Robinson.
He,
Which
he
movie though?
Sandy Cheeks.
I didn't watch it.
He's in this one and in Hot Frosty.
Neither of which I watched.
It's so bad. Um, the CGI was awful. I think that they need to stop with the SpongeBob movies. I think that there's just they should have stopped once Steven Hillenburg died. Like, and I didn't even watch much SpongeBob. I mean, I watched an episode here and there, but I didn't watch much of it.
I would watch episodes here and there, but I think the only movie I saw was like the original one or the one with David Hasselhoff I saw.
Yeah, that's the original one. What about the one where they become superheroes?
Maybe once when it first came out, but I don't think so.
Yeah. And then my number 3 worst in the year is Descendants 4. I've never been a fan of the franchise, and this was just awful. I mean, like, I can respect what those movies did to, like, the Disney fans, but this one, they shouldn't have made it because, Cameron Boyce, even though it doesn't have, the main 4, because, Cameron Boyce, and I don't think they would come back after Cameron Boyce passed away, unfortunately. May he rest in peace, but why? It was so bad, and like every character was awful. I think that they're probably gonna make a 5th one. If they do, it's probably gonna be worse than this one. But other than that, it was not a good movie at all. And then just to again, I had to find the worst Hallmark movies to beat Charlie in the race movie race. The Merry Gentleman. My mom watched this movie because it has some uh actor from I don't remember. Yeah, it's Chad Michael Murray. I don't remember what he's in, but yeah, he was in this, and it was yeah. I could not watch it. Is I did not like it at all. The wig that the main actress had on, it was look how painfully awful that is. That is clearly a wig. Um, I have said painfully awful. I need to get better vocab. My goodness. Um, yeah, Merry Gentleman, terrible, terrible, terrible Christmas movie. Probably bottom five Christmas movie in my opinion. I hate Hallmark Christmas movies so much. And then my worst movie of the year is Afraid. I hate AI. I hate that this movie was written. Not even AI could write this script. The like John Cho. Come on, you were in Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, and you're funny in that. This movie, you're just not even. You're not even funny. You're not funny at all. I know it's not trying to be a funny movie, but his acting in it was so bad. The whole cast was bad. Even David Malchin, this guy, he's in a lot of movies. He's in Ant-Man movies, he's in Dune, he's in Oppenheimer, he's in a lot of things. He was bad in that as well. And I'm so sick and tired of something taking over a home for Blumhouse. Blumhouse, you used to be good. You made Whiplash, you made Get Out, all those good movies, and now you're making this crap. Stop it. All right. When I looked that over you when you were saying another AI taking, you saw the craziness in my eyes because I'm tired of this. It's driving me insane.
Yeah. I agree. AI is too much now. Get rid of the AI movies and maybe a little bit of AI in real life. Now I will say one AI movie that was released that was good. Y2K was pretty good. I can't lie. I have it at number 20.
I will watch Y2K because
That one's good because it's just a goofy, funny movie. It's kind of like say it's like super bad, but with mixed with This Is the End.
Jonah Hill produces it.
Yeah, well then that makes sense. Yeah. Which I don't know why it got so much hate because it was pretty funny. It was definitely goofy and dumb, but it was funny. Number 5, I have Spaceman, as you said. Adam Sandler's worst movie, probably by far. Very boring, and um, I don't know. It was just terrible. I don't know why he made it. He needs to stop doing Netflix movies. Uh, they're not great. But number 4, I have Thunderman's Return. Now, this is a show I used to love, and don't get me wrong, it's still good at sometimes. You know, rewatching it, it's still funny and good. But the movie, this budget this movie had to have been whatever was in their pockets because I've never seen worse CGI and costumes and all this stuff in my life. It was so terrible. Whoever thought of it was like, if you were gonna bring it back, but bringing it back with like a B-rated budget, then just don't bring it back. Nickelodeon, for some reason, throughout the last probably right before COVID hit or right when COVID hit, Nickelodeon's budget went from so much to so little. Like Henry Danger used to have a big budget. You could tell it was actually pretty good, looked clean, and then by the final season, like season or two, man, I don't know what they did, but it went horrible. So something in there, they I don't know if they got sued or what, but they lost some money. And then at number 3, I have The Deliverance. It's a horror movie that takes place actually in Indiana. Um, and it has Caleb McLaughlin, which he's in Stranger Things, which is also in Indiana. So yeah, he's a main character, one of the main characters in it. It's just not a good movie. It's very boring, very slow. I believe it was demonic, is what that one was about. I only watched it once, and it was so bad I only remember about some parts of it. Um, Not good. Definitely don't watch it. Number 2, I have Afraid, the AI movie. Yep, I know. Had to be up there. What did you put it as?
The worst one.
That was okay. That was your worst one. Um, yeah, it was terrible. My worst one is probably one of the very first movies I actually saw in 2024, and it was so boring, and it was so the story was terrible, the acting wasn't great. It it was Damsel with Millie Bobby Brown. I don't care what people say.
Have one half star in the air.
What? Afraid probably could be, or Damsel. I don't know. Damsel's terrible. Don't watch it. It is so. But you'll if you want to take a nap, watch it because you'll go to sleep really quick. It is so terrible. I stayed awake during that movie, which was a regret. I should have gotten a couple extra hours of sleep by sleeping during that movie because it was
I
terrible.
think Netflix has some sort of gun
Yeah,
point on
Millie.
both Craig Robinson and Millie Bobby Brown. Make the worst
At this point,
job
Adam
possible.
Sandler too. I mean, Leo and then Spaceman, and so the only good one he did recently
Happy
was Murder
Gilmore
Mystery.
will.
Well, Happy Gilmore 2. Is that going to be on Netflix only? See, that's dumb. No, they needed to do it or it wouldn't be on Netflix. They need more. We need to stop doing movies that are streaming services only. We need to bring back the fact that movies will come to theater when you want to see them. So, like Happy Gilmore 2, bring it to theaters. I don't want to have to pay for Netflix to watch it. I mean, I already do, obviously, but I don't. Some people that want to watch Happy Gilmore aren't going to want to pay for Netflix just to watch it. And they could probably make more money by doing it through the theater, and then eventually, once it leaves theater, then you sell or then you let a streaming service use it and gain royalties and stuff like that. But that's just my opinion. But that's my top five. So now we're
Bottom five.
bottom five, whatever. Yeah, definitely on my top five. Now we're gonna do the 2024 movie Oscars, which we have Best Actor, Best Movie, which we've already talked about, Best Actress, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Animation Movie, and then Worst Movie, which we've already talked about, and then Best Antagonist. So, you want to kick us off?
Let's start off, with worst movie. Actually, no. Let's take out worst movie because they already know our bottom five.
Yeah, I was gonna say worst movie and best movie we already talked about. So
Yeah, so we'll take out that. So, my worst movie nominees: Afraid, Descendants 4, Sunny Cheeks, Sarah Purple Carry On, Married Gentleman. Winner goes to Afraid. Um, and then best movie, um, Deadpool and Wolverine, Dune 2, Smile 2, Red 1, Carry On. Winner goes to Deadpool and Wolverine. So let's start off with best. You want to do best antagonist on the year, and then we'll do best actor. That's the final one. All right. So for best antagonist, my nominees go to Nicolas Cage in Longlegs, Josh Hartnett in Trap, Bill Skarsgård in Nosferatu, Austin Butler in Dune 2, and Jason Bateman in Carry On. And the winner of best antagonist of 2024 goes to Austin Butler in Dune 2. Fantastic. One of the greatest villains of all time, in my opinion.
so my nominees are Patrick Renna in Monster Summer, Nicolas Cage in Longlegs, Josh Hartnett in Trap, Ken Jeong in the 430 movie, and David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown in Terrifier 3. Ken Jeong is on there because he is technically antagonist, and I love Ken Jeong as an actor. He's so funny. I've actually restarted watching Community, and he's a main character in that, and he's so funny in it. Um, but I'm gonna have to give it to David Howard Thornton as Terrifier or as Art the Clown because Art the Clown is such psycho, and his story is good. It's been expanded well, and he's just so brutal, and he's also funny at the same time, which is it's hilarious. Especially in this new one, his humor is so funny, and it fits so well with his character. So that's why he wins that one. So what are we doing now? Animation movie?
Do animation. We'll go
Yeah.
from the bottom to the top.
Well, I have two nominees. I'm just gonna do it that way because I have two nominees. I've only seen two this year.
I've only seen two animation.
Piece by Piece and Despicable Me 4. I'll give it to Piece by Piece because I like a lot of the music Pharrell Williams helped produce and do the beat for and all that. Especially like the Nelly ones and stuff. But don't get me wrong, Despicable Me 4 was definitely underrated. People hated on it a little too much. I thought it was still funny and thought it was a good Minion movie. But that's my animation movie, Piece by Piece.
All right, I have 5 nominations for um best animation movie, and I don't want one of these movies in here, but here are the nominees: Inside Out 2, Kung Fu Panda 4, Piece by Piece, Despicable Me 4, and Transformers 1. And the winner goes to Transformers 1 for the best animation of 2024. The one movie I did not want in there was Inside Out 2. 'Cause Inside Out 2 was bad. I didn't. It was not a good movie. I don't understand why people love that movie so much. It should not be in the top 10 of most most gross and most amount of money a movie's ever gotten. It was not that good. I thought it's the same story, but there's just like new emotions added, and like the first Inside Out gets me emotional a bit, especially with the ending. Uh, Inside Out 2 didn't do that. I was straight faced the entire time, like, what's going on? I thought it was boring. But yeah, Transformers 1, animation movie of the year. Now we're gonna go to best supporting actress now. Hold on. Well, he wants me to go first. Okay, I'll go first. First, best supporting actress. My nominees are Sophia Carson in Carry On, Zendaya in Dune 2. Um, I don't know how to pronounce this, but Salika in Trap. She's a Lady Raven. Florence Pugh in Dune 2, and Aubrey Plaza in My Old Self. And the winner goes to Zendaya in Dune 2.
So I gotta remember which ones these are from. Hold on, because I didn't write down which ones they're from, so now I'm kind of forgetting. That's my bad. I have Lucy Liu from or Liu, yeah, red one, and then oh, I closed it. You said actress, right?
Best supporting actress.
Yes. Salika and Sophia Carson. Now let me look at real quick. Sophia Carson, is that the
Carry On.
Yep. Okay, that's what I was thinking. The only one I don't remember is what Salika is from.
Trap.
Yes, that's the main singer, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, that's the okay. Yes. Um, honestly, I gave it to Lucy Liu in red one.
Really?
Yeah, I thought her character was pretty good. She's like an agent, and I thought it was just kind of cool. And I thought she did well as an agent. She definitely fit in. I also thought she was kind of funny the way she talked to Chris Evans and all that. So I gave it to her. Um, so yeah, that's what I think. And then we'll do what supporting actor.
Best supporting actor.
Okay, so I have my nominees here. I have Jason Bateman in Carry On, Alexander Ludwig in Bad Boys Ride or Die, Wesley Snipes as Blade, and Jordan Preston from something. Um,
Jordan Preston. Who's that?
yes, let me tell you real quick. Hold on. Let me go to IMDb because
I've never heard of Jordan Preston in my life.
hold on. That was my bad. I probably should have written down what movies because yeah, I hadn't either. That's why he was oh, you know who he is? He's in Salem's Lot. He's that black kid in Salem's Lot.
Oh.
His character is so good in that, I'm telling you. But I'm gonna give it to Wesley Snipes as supporting actor as Blade in Deadpool Wolverine. Blade is such a funny character, such a cool character. He goes, I don't know. Blade is one of my favorite. May be one of my, may be my favorite superhero of all time. Or, well, yeah, I would say he's a superhero or anti-hero.
He's an anti-hero.
Yeah. Well, technically, I guess he isn't really. He isn't really superhero or anti-hero. He's a hunter, is what he is. Vampire Slayer, but whatever. Definitely think that's where I'd have him. So, yeah. Well, I guess we could do best director, and then we can do best actress and best actor.
We'll have to do my best supporting actor first. Um, best supporting actor: Mel Gibson in Monster Summer, David Johnson in Alien Romulus. He plays Andy. Jason Bateman in Carry On, Josh Brolin in Dune 2, and Javier Bardem in Dune 2. And best supporting actor goes to Javier Bardem in Dune 2. So far, I have like 3 winners. Oh no, I have 2 winners for Dune 2. Oh no, 3. I have 3 winners for Dune 2 right now.
All right. So what are we doing? Best director.
Best director now. Yes.
I have 2 nominees on here. I have Sean Levy and Damian Leon. And I'm gonna give it to Damian Leon. He's pushing boundaries with some of the movies he's making. With well, I don't want to spoil it for Tyler, but with some of the stuff he does, in the horror community, it is frowned upon, or it was, because no one ever did it. No one crossed those lines, and he does, which makes it interesting. And he said he was going to continue to. Not him, but he did something that almost made David Howard throw up because he specifically knew that would make him sick, but it was that twisted. So I thought it made it even better. But he's definitely a great director, going from making short films that are definitely B-rated, is what they feel like, to making really high grossing films and really twisted, dark, but also funny films. So I think he's definitely going places with the movies he's making. So that's where I have him at.
Now, best director, I have
Is it Dune 2? The Dune 2 director?
we have Denis Villeneuve as for Dune 2.
Uh-huh.
We have Sean Levy for Deadpool and Wolverine, Fede Alvarez for Alien Romulus, Robert Eggers for Nosferatu, and Parker Finn for Smile 2. Best director goes to Denis Villeneuve for Dune 2.
Yeah, I had a feeling you're going there. So what are we on now? Actress? Ooh, my phone is at 3%. So I have Lauren Lavera, who is the main girl in Terrifier 3 and 2. So her I have Naomi Scott for Smile 2, even though I wasn't a fan of that movie. She did play the character very well. So I'll give her that. And then I have Sophia Thrasher, which is
She was her heretic.
yeah, she was the Sister Barnes. I was trying to remember what her character is. Sister Barnes and Heretic. So those are my nominees, and I'm giving it to Lauren Lavera in Terrifier 3 because her character is very, very. She's going through a lot and a lot of family stuff, a lot of personal stuff while trying to survive. A killer clown. So I think it's fantastic. She's definitely a survivor type, and then the ending. I'm excited for the next one. That's all I gotta say. So.
Best actress for me, my nominees are Ariana Grande in Wicked, Daisy Edgar Jones in Twisters, Naomi Scott in Smile 2, Lily Rose Depp in Nosferatu, and Micah Monroe in Longlegs. And my winner goes to Naomi Scott in Smile 2. She was phenomenal. I I thought that her character was incredible. It's so much better than The Therapist.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, I that is a movie that I'll definitely go back to rewatching sometime soon.
So, last but not least, we have our best actor. I'll tell you right now, I think either Timothy Chalamet or what's his name, Glenn Powell is going to win. Now, I don't agree with that at all, but I think Glenn Powell, especially with the Hitman and Twisters, I think he has a good chance of winning this year. But I will say mine that I would want to win is my nominees are Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
Did you separate Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, or did you make it?
They're separate,
Okay.
technically. Yeah, they're separate. And then David Howard Thornton, and Josh Hartnett, which I gave the win to Josh Hartnett because the way he played it was such a good role, and it definitely he could have definitely been swapped out with like Will Smith or Martin Lawrence because both of them, especially Martin Lawrence, the way he played his character in the newest one, in the newest Bad Boys, was a lot different than his past ones. But I will say, I think Josh Hartnett deserves the win for Trap, so I'll give it to him.
Now, finally, it's the last one. Best actor. And I will say, Glenn Powell is not on here.
Oh, okay, good.
All right, here are my nominees:
I bet I know which one it is.
Taron Egerton in Carry On,
Mhm.
Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool and Wolverine, Timothy Chalamet in Dune 2, Josh Hartnett in Trap, Hugh Jackman in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Can I make a guess of who I think you're gonna choose? I think you're gonna choose Timothy.
Timothy Chalamet in
Yeah, I
Dune
knew
2
it.
as
Yeah,
best actor.
I knew it.
The entire movie is so good. I just realized that Deadpool and Wolverine only gets one win. It's the best movie, and it's my favorite movie of the year. Dune 2 is just so phenomenally acted, so greatly shot, and it's just I cannot wait for Dune Messiah. Dune Messiah is going to be great. That comes out 2026. It comes out next year. I do not like that. And why? Let's talk about the Batman Part 2 getting delayed to 2027. Oh my goodness. When I heard that news, I thought it was fake for a second because I was like, this is a TikTok. I'm not going to believe it on TikTok. And then I start seeing it everywhere. Dude, I just watched The Penguin, and The Penguin's my number one show of the year. Why? You're telling me that I have to wait until October 1st of 2027. I'll be in college. I will be in college when that movie comes out.
October. Wait, what?
October 1st, 2027. We will be
Yeah,
I will be in college when that movie comes out.
like I'll be in college.
Yeah,
Like,
cuz
this dumbass over there won't be.
yes, this guy over here will not be in college. Oh, with his 2.1 GPA.
Okay, it's 3.27. Thank
Yeah,
you.
don't believe him. He's a liar.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. But I'm still super upset about that. I think that as long as they make it a great movie, if I know they will make it a great movie because Matt Reeves has been cooking with this universe. Um, so far with just the Batman and the Penguin, which you need to watch and you need to give Penguin a chance because you have
I
you
will, but you need to give Gotham a chance. Yeah,
Mm.
because
That's
Gotham
too long of a show for me.
no, it's not even that. Really, we've watched Walking Dead, all right? Talk about a show that's
Just
not a little too long, and I love Walking Dead. It's my favorite show, but season 11 and 10 were not needed.
hmm
Actually, half of 3/4 of season
so,
9 were needed.
yeah, season 9, half of season 9 was not
After
needed.
9.5, they weren't needed.
Yeah, and then yeah, what else happened recently?
Squid Game season 2.
Oh yeah, I did start Squid Game. I thought all the Squid Game hype back in 2021 was like unnecessary and unneeded.
But now you know.
I did play Roblox Squid Game. I played Fortnite Squid Game. Yeah, those were fun. Uh, and I watched Squid Game. During winter break, and so far, I mean, the first season was great. Season two, it's a little worse. I'm not gonna lie, but it's still good. I do like how there's new, there's all new games. I'm glad they didn't redo the games. But I'm liking Squid Game season two so far.
I loved Squid Game season 1 when it came out in 2021. I watched it pretty quick when it released because I heard it was great and it looked good. I watched it in the English dub because I don't want
I
to
did
do
as
all.
well.
Yeah,
If
I don't got time to read all that.
watch it in normal and not like with subtitles, I would have gotten
Yeah.
the Squid Game book.
So now
But
what?
there's no Squid Game.
What I didn't know is that I just realized, which I've actually watched it. Train to Busan, a zombie movie that actually is pretty good, which I did have to watch in Korean because they didn't have an English dub, so I had to read it. But it still was pretty good. The main guy in that, the dad, is actually the suited guy, in Squid Game, the one that,
With the Dachi,
yeah,
the
the Dachi, yeah, the guy that brings you in to actually play the games. He was the main character in Train to Busan, which I didn't know. So I've actually seen him before, but I think season 2 is not as good as season 1, but it is still great. Well, okay, great's a strong word. It's still probably 7 or 8 out of 10, so it is still really good.
Oh yeah, that is him.
But yeah, I don't know. Um, I found it out maybe this morning or last night. But yeah, I season 1 of Squid Game is still one of my favorite shows ever. Just, I mean, if you haven't seen by now, I mean, sorry, but you go click off because rest in peace, Ollie, bro. Oh my god, one of the worst portrayals of all time.
That
Oh
last
my
like
goodness,
10 minutes of that episode,
it's so sad.
had me almost crying.
It was so the very first time because you didn't see it coming too because you didn't know he was gonna betray him like that. You were like, oh, one of them was gonna die. I was hoping it was gonna be the other guy. And it's like
Yeah, 218. When
218, yeah.
Ollie died, and then the other girl with
Oh, see, I didn't care about her honestly.
her story. When I started getting invested when she told her story,
Yeah,
I started to get very emotional. And then when she started crying, like, "Thank you for being a good friend" or something
yeah.
like that, oh, that hit me there. And then when number one
Win
died,
one.
number
Well,
one
yeah,
straight
yeah,
died. Oh
died.
my
Yeah,
goodness. That
but
was sad. And then when I figured out that he's the one who's behind it all, oh
but
my
but
god.
when Ollie's yelling for him,
Oh yeah.
and then opens the bag and
And when
looks
he sees a
down,
bunch of rocks, oh my
and then
goodness.
he's just like he looks up and he's just tears are in his eyes, and you're like, oh god, that's depressing. And then we just hear the gun go off, and there goes Ollie.
And
But
they had Ollie die. They had that other Korean chick, and the number one died. At the time, I was really sad when number one died. But that annoying chick that hooked up with the tattoo guy. I have these names for these people because I don't know their.
she technically wasn't in the marble game.
She was not. She kind of got a free. She got a freebie really,
She got a pass.
and she lived. She lived, and but like she sacrificed herself because she.
She didn't sacrifice herself. She said, "I'm taking you with me." It was more she was pissed at the other guy, so she
Yeah, I
turned
get.
down.
Yeah, it wasn't more. But like,
She didn't care about any of the other people.
yeah,
She just wanted him to die.
yeah. But my name's for him. Main guy is main guy, and then there's cop, and then the 218 is the guy that made me super mad.
I used to actually know their names, and I'm
Um,
blanking on them right now.
There's Ollie, other Korean chick, main Korean
There's
chick,
Thanos.
Thanos. There's
There's
Thanos.
Logan.
Who else is there? I that old guy was one of them, and then
The front man.
frontman. Well, his name is frontman. And
Oh yeah.
who else? I have names for others as well. Oh yeah, annoying girl, tattoo guy.
Season 2, there's the annoying god chick, is what I
Oh
call
yeah,
her.
she's annoying. Oh my goodness, I hate her so
Then
much.
there's the pregnant chick in season 2.
The pregnant chick, and
The
then there's
the mom and
old
the son.
old best friend, mom and son. Um,
390 is the best friend.
Thanos is probably one of the best characters this season,
So cute.
especially when I've seen the clip of when they're on the
Merry-go-
merry-go-round. He's just dancing.
Yeah, he's dancing.
It's so
Here
funny.
we go. That song will get stuck in your head. I'm telling you right now. It's so addicting. Like Gonji.
Mm,
Gonji.
Ganji. I mean, like, I don't think it's that addicting, but it was fun to watch. I still can't like get. I can get one dice and grab it, and then yeah.
It's hard. We practiced for a while. But
Mm.
Netflix. Speaking on, because this is probably our second longest episode now.
The third longest.
Well, I don't remember exactly how long the Christmas one was. I know it
This one
was,
was around like an hour 27.
yeah. So we're kind of close, but Netflix announced that next year we will get Stranger Things season 5. We will get
Wednesday season
Wednesday
2.
season 2 and Squid Game season 3, which all of those, well, I don't know about Wednesday, but at least it'll be the end for Stranger Things and Squid Game. Those will be the final
And
seasons
then
for those
I
two.
think Wednesday will go on for one or two more seasons after
Yeah.
season 2. Which Wednesday, it's a good show.
Yeah,
I like
I don't get the hate. I actually like Squid or
I'm
Wednesday season
surprised you
1.
like Wednesday. I feel like that's a show you'd hate.
No, I actually liked it, but I also like how do I explain it? I kind of Tim Burton feels kind of what it had. I feel
It
like
is Tim Burton.
it is Tim. Well, then yeah, that's why I liked, and I like Tim Burton. Like I like Edward Scissorhands, and I like um the only one I don't like Beetlejuice or not. No, whoa, I don't
You
like
like
Nightmare. I don't
Beetlejuice?
like Nightmare Before Christmas. I like Beetlejuice. I don't
Well,
like
is that
Nightmare
one
Before
not
Christmas.
directed by him? It's just his animation.
Yeah, but just don't. But he still was a part of it,
Yeah.
and I wasn't a fan, so I don't know. But
OBX season 5 is not confirmed to be 2025.
yeah,
It's probably gonna be early 2026. I still
probably.
need to.
Which
Once I'm done with Squid Game season 2, I'm gonna go straight back to
the new
20X.
season was it was okay. It was good, but it wasn't great compared to the rest.
My dad was so angry at the ending.
I mean, I know why they did it. Do I think they should have done it differently? Yeah. Um, but he honestly hasn't like. Do you know what happens?
Yeah, JJ dies.
Yeah. So spoiler alerts. Click off now if you haven't finished it, which you should have, and you've definitely heard it by now. JJ was not one of my favorite characters anyway. He's
Oh,
funny.
he's my favorite character. He was so funny.
He's funny.
He has dumb decisions.
He's funny in season 1, but after season 1, he just gets in my opinion, I'm like Pope. I want the money. So I'm thinking about all this stuff he does where they lose so much money. I'm like, bro, come on, really? Like you're making dumb. They go from $100,000, $800,000. Whoa, buddy, chill. We can get another piece of land. I mean, yeah, it just makes me mad. So I don't know. He's just so wasteful with money, and it just bothers me. And he's done with money, and he almost gets them all killed multiple times until he technically did get himself killed. But I don't know. Pope's always been my favorite. Pope and Pope's dad have always been my two favorite characters because they're both funny, especially Pope's dad. But Pope's dad was funny because of JJ, to be fair, or partly because of JJ. Because
They had very good chemistry.
yeah, they had a they had a good bond together per se. So, but yeah, that was definitely sad. Which that was also this year. But yeah, I can't think of anything else besides we could talk about new movies that are coming out, but I think we should save that for another episode because there's a lot of new movies that just got announced recently, or I guess this month. What do we have this month? We have Greenbelt.
You're cordially invited with Will Ferrell and
Okay.
Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
There's also the Back in Action with Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx. It's a Netflix movie. There is
Greenbelt Willie.
Screamboat, Dogman, the Peter Pan,
Oh yeah.
which I believe is also David Howard Thornton. I think I or I'm thinking of Grinch because I know he played the Grinch in the Mean One.
Oh yeah. Is that out yet?
That's been out for a long time. Mean One. But
Oh man. I've
Peter,
been. Oh,
huh?
2022. Dang, I actually saw something about it the other day, and I was like, "Oh, that'll be a fun watch with David Howard Thornton," and then I didn't even realize he was already out.
Hold
Shoot,
on,
I'm gonna have to watch that.
I can't remember what that Peter Pan movie is called, but Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare. It is. Oh, it is not David Howard Thornton. I was wrong. My bad. My bad. Um, yeah, but I just want to see what Hooniverse Monsters Assemble is gonna be like.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so stupid, and it comes out 2025. That movie, Hooniverse Monsters Assemble.
It's gonna be great. I'm telling you right now.
I mean, like, I'll watch these movies, but I just want to go into Hooniverse Monsters Assemble with
God.
nothing to expect.
Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey was so bad. That's terrible.
I I know that Monsters Assemble is gonna be bad.
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be better than Megan.
Okay,
Better than
that,
Afraid, probably.
that's lowballing because That's low balling. That's about it. But like, you just gotta get it. You know, you think you're gonna beat me again? I mean, you're thinking you can beat me for the first time in the movie race this time?
Maybe. To be fair, it was about 2 p.m. yesterday. I had watched 4 terrible movies that morning. Four.
Yeah, I
And I
watched
was like, okay,
like
listen.
three terrible movies.
We,
I watched Challenges, which is so
we
funny.
were tied, and then he was like, yeah, I'm seeing Sonic. And I was like, okay, I could watch Time Cut, which I've heard is just kind of a ripoff of,
Totally killer.
yep, Totally Killer. And I was like, I don't feel like watching another hour and a half movie that I know I'm not going to rate that high. And I was like, I'm tired of movies. So I started watching Community instead. I was like, yeah, you can take this win, buy one movie because I'm tired of watching movies. I'm gonna watch Community. I want to watch a comedy show instead of a terrible movie, which there was a lot of. But next year there are quite a few movies.
I mean, this year,
Final, yeah, whatever. I guess it is January 1st. We have Final Destination. We have
I know
another
what you did last
Conjuring.
summer.
Another I Know What You Did Last Summer. Another 28 Years Later. What's the other one? There was another horror movie. Another Insidious, I believe. Insidious.
I think that's 2026.
Is it 2026? Okay. Megan 2. Doesn't that come out this year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I am not spending money again on Megan.
I am because the theater experience was fun. It was just the movie that sucked. But
The best part of that movie is when Megan pushes the
when
child
the little
and
kid gets hit by the
then
truck,
that was so funny.
that
But
that
then
was
they
a good scene.
killed a dog, and it's like, nah,
And then
no
yeah,
thanks.
then you're like, eh. But yeah, no, there's a lot of good horror movies coming out, which I'm excited about. This year was okay. There was a few good ones.
Alien Romulus was the best,
Alien Romulus. Yeah, I think I had that above Trap.
and Terrifier 3.
And Terrifier 3 was pretty good, but Terrifier 3 was slasher. Trap is more psychological and thriller, and then Romulus is more action and thriller per se.
That's a horror movie.
Alien Romulus?
Alien Romulus is horror.
I wouldn't count as horror. It wasn't scary or anything at
It
all.
wasn't scary, but like it's still you should consider it as a
I
horror movie.
I wouldn't count the other aliens as horror. I'd count them as more
Well, at the
action.
time, I'm pretty sure people were pretty scared.
Well, yeah, it's like it's like what's it called? Exorcist. Everyone's like it's one of the scariest movies of all time. Like when did they test this? They must have had to test it back in the day when it first came out because it is not scary. It's very very. The beginning is very very slow and then it gets okay, but it's still I don't know. I like the ones that are actually kind of freaky psychologically or jump scare wise, which I guess Terrifier 3 wasn't, but it was well. That's why I said it was slasher, and then Trap was psychological horror. Smile 2, it wasn't.
I love.
Ah,
Actually, no.
I
Smile 2 is the best horror movie of the year. What am I thinking?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know what you are, but are you really Smile 2 over Alien Romulus?
Yes.
I thought Smile 2 was not
The
great.
Smile 2 trailers had me booked. Like I was
Better.
sad.
It was better. Oh, I was too. And then I watched the movie. I was like, oh, eh, okay. It was better than the first one, yes. But it wasn't great.
But we
I
can
just,
admit that Naomi Scott's performance was really good.
yeah, I said that. I gave her a nominee. She was good in it. I just didn't like the story or the actual movie that much. There's just better stuff out there, I thought. But other than that, I can't think of anything much else to say.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Welcome to 2025. Hope we get a lot of good movies this year. Hope you guys, had a good. Hope you guys had watched a lot of good movies as well. Hope you had a good 2024. But we're gonna wrap this up here. Thank you for listening. We'll drop letterboxes again. Tyler M _08 Charlie Snarf 1. I'm Tyler Miller.
And I'm Charlie Snarf, and thank you for joining us. Have a happy new year. Tell us below what your favorite movie was, and we will see you in, well, I guess this will be released in 2025, but we'll see you in the rest of 2025 for more episodes and more good movies. See you guys next time. Adios.